Bizarre Brain Comics. Ooh. Haha. Hello. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time, I thought I'd take a look at a fistful of graphic albums from my bookshelf. I've got something floating in my tea. Okay, we'll start off with this one. It was actually done as a one-shot, not as an album per se. Perfect Bound from, what was it, 1993. Batman, Two-Face Strikes Twice. And this is with interior art done in the, of course, the cover is drawn by Dick Sprang, who was a big Batman artist in the 50s and 60s. And probably going back to the 40s, I don't know. And with the interior art by Joe Stanton, imitating that classic style. And, oh, that's nice. You can see here. Of course, this came out about the time of Batman Forever, with it had Two-Face and the Riddler in it. There's Batman Two-Face, and you can kind of see it still has Joe Stanton look to it, but he was pretty good at imitating different stylizations. And I loved his classic work on E-Man. But this is book 1, part 1. But part 2, flip side. Book 1, part 2, and it was just a one shot. So, Two-Face Strikes Twice, and I'm not sure who did the cover. This is still written by Mike W. Barr, but with interior art by Derek Gross. So I presume he did the cover as well. And this was a more contemporary version of Batman and Two-Face with painted interior art, fully painted art. Some really nice looking stuff. Oh, look at that one. If you have never seen it before, look at that page. Try to keep glare off of it. But that's some really, really nice stuff. Okay. Then we go to Robin Flying Solo. This is from, I just looked at it, and I forgot what year. This was published in 2000, and it is a collection of issues of Robin from 93 and 94, and this was all taking place during the time of the Nightfall storyline. Remember when Bane broke Batman's back, and they had the other. This is a library discard, which I bought. So I want to remind you that for comic readers, that you don't necessarily have to buy all your comics. Go to your local public library, various branches, depending on whether they have branches or not, depending on where you live, and but most of them will have comics, graphic novels, both alternative and more adult stuff, and kiddie stuff, and then in between, depending on them. And so that is a good source. Your public library is always a good source for your reading material. You just have a smaller selection. And this was written by Chuck Dixon with Tom Grummett and Phil Jimenez doing the art duties. It's some nice stuff, and you can see because it starts off right at the beginning with Azrael as Batman in his later Batman costume, getting real ticked off at Robin. So it's got some nice stuff. But this is all taking place during that Nightfall saga. Then we go here to, this is what, 14 or 15, I've forgotten. Batman 66. Yeah, this is the compilation of the first, I think, 5 issues of Batman 66, which was became a very popular, pretty popular series. And I have a couple other graphic albums of that, mostly with the crossovers. And of course, in case you don't know, Batman 66, of course, is the comic series based on the Adam West Batman from 1966, hence the title. With this has some great covers by Mike Allred. He has a wonderful retro style to his art. Anyway, they're doing this with various interior artists like Ty Templeton and some others, and they do some really nice stuff. They usually get a very good depiction of likenesses of the actors who played the parts. Some really cool stuff. And oh, here we have the Joker as the Red Hood, which in one version is who the Joker was before he was the Joker. And some really nice stuff there. Various TV versions of the villains. And fun reading. I love that. Even though overall I prefer the more realistic and more dramatic and dark adventures of Batman. I like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I like the detective aspect of it. And some of the stories seem to, more recent years, seem to leave out Batman as a detective. And here we have Elektra. This is what, from 24, I think it was, 24, 2005. Elektra, the official movie adaptation edition. Yeah, they had that movie, which I really enjoyed, but most of the fans didn't like, of Elektra, with Ben Affleck's ex-wife. Jennifer. I've forgotten her name all of a sudden. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. And so it has a really nice looking adaptation of the movie, and then is backed up with, I think it's 3, reprinting 2 or 3, I think it's 3 Daredevil issues featuring Elektra, written and drawn by Frank Miller. And is kind of tied into both of those elements from those movies. And I really enjoyed the movie. Then here we go to, this is something more recent. This is from Red Menace from Marvel, of course. Captain America. This is Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting. Some really interesting, really nice stuff. It has Captain Britain in it. I'm not sure if I've read these two or not. Or I guess or is that Blackjack? I can't remember. Some cool stuff. Ed Brubaker did some cool stuff. And I liked Ed Brubaker before he ever started doing mainstream comics, when he was doing underground stuff, and he was doing his own artwork. Then here's another one from a little later, about 10 years later. Captain America, Prisoner of War. This is the different costume. This is the costume that he wore in the beginning of which movie? I can't remember. Captain America 2? Or was it Civil War? I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. But it's more similar to the. Looks like it's kind of inspired by the costume from the first Captain America TV movie 45 odd years ago. Again, Ed Brubaker, Deodato, Giusi, and Sam Nee. Some really, really nice stuff in here too. Ooh. And who knew Ed Brubaker would turn out to be such a big and popular writer? Then here we have, going way back, this is the Uncanny X-Men Masterworks, Lee and Kirby, the first 5 issues of the X-Men. And this is, of course, Volume 1. And this was published in both trade paperback and hardback. But I'd rather have the trade paperback because I don't want to pay so much extra just for a hardback version, of course. Classic X-Men Magneto stuff. And when was this one published? I think it was in the 90s. See if it says. 93. From 1993. And I like this iteration of the X-Men. Then we go to Captain America again. But this is Marvel Presents the Captain America Collector's Edition. And as you can see, this is Jim Steranko. This reprints the couple of Captain America issues that were written and drawn by Jim Steranko. And of course, then here I have tucked away inside is Marvel Super Action, which also reprinted the first part of that story. And of course, Steranko is most closely identified with Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And this is tied into those. And it's some great stuff. This is when Rick Jones, who one could say was a professional sidekick, because he started off being the Hulk's sidekick. He moved over to becoming Captain America's sidekick, and was later Captain Marvel's sidekick, and his kind of his alter ego. Some really, really nice stuff. And you can see that too. And then we're going to finish it up with something that is completely different and totally unrelated. And it is the Complete Crumb Comics Volume 10. And of course there is Crumb's self-portrait on the back cover. And here it says, featuring Frosty the Snowman. Crumb advocates violent overthrow. And I don't remember how many volumes there were, 15, 16, something like that. And I have 3 or 4, all told, scattered around throughout my collection, instead of being all together like they should be. And of course we got some of the great Crumb stuff. Underground. And we'll make sure it's something that's... Oh, here's reprinting his Jam comics with his wife, the late Elaine Kaminsky. And find something like this is filled with a lot of those. I don't want to show that. Show that. And I think this is probably okay. Okay. Some great classic Crumb underground comics. And I think, yeah, here's another one. Is okay. No one better than Crumb. So, that is all I wanted to share with you this time around. And I want to thank you for joining me. So please like, share, subscribe. Do leave your comments down below. Which of these books do you like best? Which ones do you have or have read? And also tell me, do you also go to the library for comic books? Let me know that too. I think it's real important to patronize your public library, and you can get comics to read there. So, that's all, folks. And remember, comics are art.